Hello, how is everybody? Let me know if you can hear me. Put my microphone here. Believe it or not, I'm having sound issues. I can never hear my intro. So I don't know if that's normal or not, but yeah, the purple glow is, we've got this kitchen light thing going on. So it's kind of a dreary day here. And if I turn this light on here, like I get these waves through the screen. So I've got the kitchen lights on, but then I put the color light on too, just to make it a little bit brighter. That's the brightest one we have. The rest are like blue and green and whatnot. So it's been a bit. I took Thanksgiving weekend off, a little bit more than that. I did my rounds actually, but I spent most of the time in Lethbridge with my grandbabies. It was great. And I got home late, and then I had to run to Kelowna, do a bunch of stuff. And today I finally got a chance to unpack. And yeah, I've been trying my best to kind of keep up a little bit. But I'm probably out of the loop on a lot of stuff. I'm not going to lie. But there are a few things that obviously I know about, and we're going to talk about. If I miss anything, which I probably will, let me know. We can talk more. And hi, Blue Jay. I'm just wondering what time you'll be live today. Right about this time, 2:30-ish. And BMX. I love Newfie. Well, I wonder if you're Newfie. He loves it. Good, good. Yes, it's been a long 8 days. Hi, Henry. Sorry, hey, Roots. Yeah, this should be good. Should be. Crazy. Hi, Dia. Hopefully you're still here. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for that every time. And Julia, or Julie, sorry, love the chat title. It says perfectly apt. That's all we still have. Evidence bag empty. Just a few secondhand rumors stuck at the bottom of it. And complex DMO Daniel Martin or Martel overload in YouTube Village. It's very true. Glad you're getting virtual hugs, Henry. Deanna, hi. Leanna, Lard Dyens. Yes. Yes. I worked very closely with quite a few, I call them capers from Cape Breton, but there are a number of newfies as well. So I have a few of them up here. Hi, nurse. Voices for Jack and Lily. I heard that saying a time or two, as have I. Actually, it goes a little bit farther than that. It's Lord Tunderin Jesus, or another one was Moses in the garden, and I've heard them all. Hi, Charmaine and everyone. Hello, member, and yes, ma'am. Madagascar. Yeah. 2 minutes. I was late. I apologize. Oh, members having a fire today. Hey, Carol. I missed everybody too. And I mean, it's hard for me to, because I know everybody else is so like organized and they have this whole show planned out and stuff they want to go over. And I don't want to be like a repeat regurgitation. That's my whole point. I'm sick and tired of it because it gets toxic and finger pointing and stuff. And I'm trying not to do that. So it's hard to plan live streams and have enough to talk about without getting into kind of what everybody else is doing. I think that there's a way to cover stuff where we don't have to be just part of that sheeple train. You know what I mean? I'm jealous too, although I could probably go out and have a fire. Hi, True Crime Story Pod with Brian Char. And house music. Hi. Hi, Tammy. And the Canadian Cat Lady. Love it. Sailor Moon. Hi. Jules on the beach. Hello. Hi, Amy and Christy and Allie's on Dundee. It's probably a name. I apologize profusely. Love the purple dragon. Oh, I'm good. I'm glad. I'm glad everybody seems to like it. Hi, Johnny. This is doing a weird thing again. It's got like your name, but then it's got a bunch of numbers behind it for everybody. So hopefully I'm not messing anything up. Hi, Bobby. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Sometimes it's nice to get compliments, you know. It's not what I'm about, but sometimes it's nice just to be hit with a nice compliment. Hey, who else? Brookie Cookie. I love that. Hello, hello. TJ's. Hi. Joe. Hey now. Good to see you, Joe. Shelby. This little mama. Hi. Just me. Hi. And I'm cooking a turkey dinner because we had a lot of stuff to do. So we ate our dinner and then we had to leave. So we didn't get to have like turkey buns the next day. We didn't get to have pumpkin pie that night. So I'm making a turkey dinner tonight so we can do all the stuff. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate that. Johnny, if I missed anybody, I'm trying my best. Hi, Nana. And I just left my Nana's a couple of days ago. It was nice to see her too. Kelly Rutledge. Hello, Betty Knight. It's always good to see you. Crazy Town Boomer. Are you just Crazy Town? I got the right person. Or are you a different one? Crazy Town Boomer. Pam. Great to see you. I know they found Samuel Bird. But it's sad. It was his remains, obviously. It is sad. Hey, Queen. Sue Oilers don't like that, but hi anyway. Thanks for being here. And Ginger Snaps, I think. You just had your big turkey dinner tonight. Good, good. I think that there's something to be said for an off-put turkey dinner. You know, yes, I already had my turkey dinner, but one of my favorite things is a turkey bun the next day or turkey casserole. You know, I love the leftovers. So I'm doing it. I just decided I'm doing it. Turkey in October. Oh, right. We have an American in the house. So for whatever reason, they decided they were going to, yeah, turkey soup too. They're going to make their Thanksgiving next month because, I mean, I guess you could have turkey in November and December, but it makes it more special, splitting it apart. Our goose got away. We went to my daughter's wedding in Waterford. And it smells amazing in here, this little mama, I'm telling you. What's a turkey bun? What's a turkey bun? Really? You take a fresh bun, crack it open, put a little bit of butter and mayonnaise and some turkey breast and salt and pepper. Best thing you'll ever have in your life. So good. Squid omelet. Squid omelet. Omelet. I don't know if I'm just slow today or what, but I hope I said that right. Thank you very much for being here. Turkey dumpling soup. I never could get into the dumpling thing. Maybe it's not made right or whatever, but I don't like the gooey. Blech. Hi, Belinda. And yeah, I said hi to you already, but I'll say hi again. Hi, yes, ma'am. And Edie, and Okay, anyways. So last time I did a live, we were talking about puppies because mine kept making cameo appearances. And I said, you know, if you want to send me pictures of your, if your fur babies, I would be happy to show them and introduce them to the crowd. So I thought we'd start off with that today, if that's okay. And then we'll get started with talking about Jack and Lily. So I'm going to add this to stage. Oh, look. Okay, so I'm not going to say whose is whose because I forgot to ask permission. But this here is Lady, and then we have Sambuca and Abby, and all of these puppies are from one household. And Sambuca is called Sam for short. I do believe Sambuca passed away from cancer, but still very special. Thank you for sharing. And we have Lucky and Bera, so cute, Cheese New, and Merv. So if you guys want me to show your fur babies, send them to me. I absolutely love seeing everybody's animals. Animals, you know, if human beings were more like dogs, the world would be a perfect place. They literally, all they want is our love. That's it. And even if they don't get it, they are so just loyal. Just loyal. And then I got one for me. Let me know if you can hear the video.
Do you want some?
That there is my Harley. Loves bananas. Okay, so if you do not have me on Facebook Messenger, I will put my email. I don't know what I was thinking when I made this email address. There you go. That's my email address. Or you can hit me up on Messenger on Facebook. Did I miss yours? Yes, ma'am. Send it again and we'll hit them next time, okay? I apologize. I mean, guinea pigs are they're babies too. Send them. I don't care what animal it is. If it gives you love and joy, then send it and we will I'm so sorry. Yes, ma'am. I think because we were talking about your emails and it probably just got lost in the shuffle. I'm so sorry. But I will next time for sure. I love dogs too. And I love cats and I love guinea pigs. I used to have guinea pigs. I love all animals just because they're so pure. And Harley is a Great Pyrenees mixed with Labrador. Ooh, raccoons. Love it. Absolutely anything. Anything, as long as they give you love and joy and peace. I love to hear about it, especially in a world like this. Okay, so let's get moving. Henry, you don't like squirrels? That seems a little odd. I like all animals except rats. And I did not know how much I didn't like rats because Alberta, where I'm from, has no rats. And I moved to BC and there are rats here. So I've seen a rat and I don't like rats. Just don't like them. Lindsay, hi, you have a fox den? That's interesting. Send pictures. We'll make this a thing. At the beginning, we'll show off all of your fur babies. And we'll make it interesting and good. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this first. Because okay, so while I was away, obviously Sunny and I and Kent, we have a group chat, and Sunny had posted Ginger snap, what? Okay, we need to focus because things like this is just going to set me off. Not a big fan of rats after seeing them eat my baby mourning doves. That is terrifying and tragic. Tragic. It's disturbing. Anyways, I'm going to take that off so I don't have to read it again. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate it. Beautiful. I'm getting so many notifications, but I will make sure that happens ASAP next time. Okay. So anyways, chat group, Sunny, Kent, and I. So we had, hey Seawood, we had just kind of a little, I guess, forwarded text, I guess, from somebody who had seen an unredacted page of the court doc or the documents that were released in this case. Number two, that is really good to know. Thank you. So anyways, there were some things in there and we didn't see it in the document until recently. But at that time we were talking about, it made me think that if there was a missed call from Malaya to Cindy at 8:28 a.m., I mean, it's clear. Malaya was awake. She was awake enough to call her mom for some reason well before the time Janie heard them outside, number one, and number two, the time that she claims to have woken up because of the 20-minute thing, the time she claims to have woken up to tell Daniel that she heard silence or whatever the fuck, right? So what do we think of this? Is this something or is this nothing? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? We're still on animals. It's okay. It's okay that we're still on animals. I'll give you a couple of minutes to type your thoughts in chat. This is why it's difficult because I have to wait for people to kind of talk about what's here, which is fine. Don't even worry about it. My old boss has tiger cubs? That's cute. Isn't that illegal? I'm just wondering. And I only say that because of Tiger King. I think the sun is coming out and I'm becoming very bright. I'm sorry. We have Gamble's quail and killdeer in my neighborhood. Funny, bright green hummingbirds also. Send pictures. Get out there with your camera, Joe. I love that we have no rats in Alberta. Wow. So you had seen rats before. I never did. Born and raised in Alberta, I never had the pleasure of seeing them in all my times. My family lives in BC, so we come here every summer, but I don't recall ever seeing a rat before, ever. And then here at the house, I seen one. And then my daughter gave me a cat over the summertime, so since then I haven't seen any. And I mean, I would show you the cat, but she is literally an outside cat. She will not come in the house no matter what. They feed her, try to love her, but she keeps the cats or the rats and mice away. So, hi, vegan. Just one sec.
came out and told me and Mom privately, like probably almost 3 months ago now, that we know that you guys had nothing to do with it, and we know that you guys have no involvement with the disappearance.
Yeah. Well,
and it wasn't just one investigator that told us; it was multiple different times privately. So it wasn't just one investigator out of the blue that said it.
Did he make any accusations at you?
Yeah, he did. He said that Thursday didn't have enough details, and we think you did something to the kids Thursday night. And I asked him, like, what are you talking about? Like, I just ran through whole Thursday and Wednesday with you. Like, we just spent the last 20 minutes talking, and there's not enough detail because I thought it was an ordinary day. In the end, like, cadaver dogs were there, they went through, and the story continues. I heard when Lily would pop in, I heard Jack in the kitchen.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I heard him rustling around in the kitchen, right? And but then when me and Malaya made our way out to the kitchen, there was nothing moved. The chairs were still perfectly in place. There was no chairs pulled up against the counter for them to, they usually would jump up and take food if they wanted, because kids always do that, right? They would go into the fridge. They would go into the other pantry and grab food if they wanted. Like, they had unlimited food if they wanted to grab it. And, they would go into the fridge, take yogurt cups and eat them, or cereal or whatever.
Hmm.
So, but nothing was moved, Daniel. Nothing was moved.
Now, they're being loud-ish. I mean, loud enough for you guys to hear them.
Yep.
Your other daughter, Meadow, she was there, though, right?
She was actually laying beside me with Malaya.
Did you guys ever, or did Malaya ever tell the kids to be quiet, where they were waking up Meadow at any point with their noise?
In that morning, no. But when Lily poked in, I did go, shh. Like, when, she would come in the room, because she always woke up Meadow. Same with Jack, but I mean, that's what kids do too, right?
Yeah. And so, some folks are saying that, they may have walked out the back sliding glass door. That seems like the only logical explanation for them to have exited the house. You had something on the front door, correct?
Yeah, on the front porch, there's the front porch door, and then there's the inner door on the front. And I know for 100% they did not go out through that door. So, because when I went and got the keys and tried to come back into the house, couldn't get into the front door, right? I had to go around from the back. And then I went out through the front door.
Gotcha.
So that's how I know they did not exit through the front. They exited out through the back sliding glass door.
Now, I've read in the documents that Malaya said something to the effect that the kids didn't always close the door behind when they went outside. It kind of made it seem like...
I apologize profusely. Now I need to catch up in chat. Are you guys talking about this Hunter S. true crime? I'm sorry. We still have this trial going on, and I could be called to the stand as a witness, so I can't be there, so I have to advise from afar. So I'm so sorry. Hey, Blue Jay. I'm sorry. Ernestine, hey, Linda. Is that you? Look at how your name is. Hi, Belinda. Thanks for being here. And I'm sorry. I threw this on because I know we've seen this before. I threw it on because I didn't want to leave you guys kind of hanging. So I'm sorry. Let's go back to where we were, okay? Because I think that is the question, and you guys have probably been talking about it. So let me just see here. Traumatized for days, bound sheets. Mom was there. Hang on. This one. Oh my God, that sun is so bright. Wonder if there's anything I can do about it. I wonder why she called. There we are. So we are here. I wonder why she called. Me too. And does it, like, again, is it a thing that she was awake well before she told Daniel she didn't cure the kids? Is it a thing that she was awake, obviously, before Janie claims to have heard the kids? How? So what Malaya shared with Sunny, I believe, was just the video call that they had at 10:40 a.m. just to show that her mom wasn't there very quickly after the RCMP arrived, right? That was the whole purpose of that screenshot. I don't think that it showed anything earlier than that. But I mean, even if it's not true, why is it in the court documents? Because these are things that the RCMP would have followed up on. Do you know what I'm saying? So the answer to that is no, I don't think so. Well, we know Malaya was awake. Why would she call her mother when she was dozing in and out? That's my point, Seawood. I think that this 8:28 phone call means something. I do. I think that there is something very fishy about that phone call. Something is very wrong with Janie's statements. I couldn't agree more. She said she was sleeping, right? No timeline is accurate. Isn't that the crux of the issue with this whole thing? Why is it so difficult to bring out a timeline that makes sense? Because your kids are missing. Don't you want the public to help you find them? Don't you want an accurate timeline out there when they were last seen, really when they were last seen for real, what they were last seen wearing? Why all the different stories? Why the big secret to what they were last seen wearing? And why have we never heard about this 8:28 phone call before? And why is Malaya awake but dozing in and out of sleep? And then Janie heard the kids after she talked to brother Ron. But Malaya was awake 40 minutes before that? Make it make sense. Member thinks that Malaya knows what happened. It's definitely relevant. It is, but why is nobody making a bigger deal out of this specific piece of information? To me, this is huge. This is massive. And it was, I want to say, within hours. Man, I'm sorry about that, son. But we learned this within hours of learning that Malaya had issued a statement. to please bring me home, or whatever the group is. Related? Connected somehow? I mean, why are we waiting 5.5 months to say anything about our missing kids? They all heard them, yet they were called in sick, and not one person got up to see how they felt. That is an excellent point. I don't want to hear about that. She was in and out of sleep. I call her mom. It's fishy. Fishy, fishy, fishy. And I think there's something there. And I think how are we going to dig into that, guys? You'd be interested to know if Malaya still has the birth certificates in her possession. What would she do with them? I don't think that you would have to surrender them to CPS, would you? I don't know. I've never been in that situation. Malaya would have been in bed with Meadow and Daniel at that time. So odd she would call. But that's my point. Was she in bed with them? If Daniel was sleeping, does he know if she was up or not? Unless Daniel used Malaya's phone to call Cindy, knowing she wouldn't answer, to throw shade from himself. Maybe, but how would he know that Cindy wouldn't answer? You and your rats. Stop it. Just stop it. Did nobody have to pee when they woke up before they were in and out of sleep? Wouldn't they have to pass Jack and Lily's bedroom? Another great point. Usually, well, I know some mobile homes, and I don't know about this one, Belinda might know. A lot of mobile homes have an ensuite bathroom in the master bedroom. She might know, she might not know. We're a farm, we deal with rats. Heather, focus. We don't want to talk about rats anymore. Hey, Shelby. I really think the delay in this stuff makes me feel like they were gone the night before. Why does police audio say 8 a.m. for kids missing and she called at 10, but said she called straight away? I mean, I understand because the reception and stuff was so spotty out there, and I can understand like a miscommunication over the police radio. I can understand that, but the rest of it, it's fishy. I don't think they even remember what actually happened. At this point, there's so many stories out there. How could you possibly keep it straight? I think that they very well remember what happened, but I don't think they remember what they said last. I think that's the problem. And that's not throwing shade at anybody. That's reading the room. That's just saying it as it is. And if it hurts their feelings, then maybe good. If you can understand what we're all seeing and how we're trying desperately to piece it all together, and it just doesn't fit, maybe it's time to put it out there, because this right here makes me go back and say, okay, Malaya, you said what you said in your first interview, you said what you said to Sunny, but now this puts all of that into question. Because you were not sleeping, you were not dozing in and out, because you woke up at some point and called your mother at 8:28 a.m. And the kids were awake. Lily was popping her head in and out of the room. You heard Jack in the room beside you. Daniel heard Jack rustling around in the kitchen, supposedly getting his jacket put on. That calls all of that into question because you, Malaya, were awake at 8:28 a.m. Why? And why were you calling your mom? That's not something we do when we're dozing in and out of sleep with our baby beside us who we don't want to wake up. The reason why they got Lily to not come bursting in the room so that they didn't wake their sister up. You know, like make it make sense. Jen, we're not talking about rats anymore. Hmm. I say put Daniel, Malaya, Justin, Durwood, all of them in the same room together and tell them to tell the story of what happened. There'll be some arguments, but I bet we'll get the story. Go right now to criminal justice and get a degree and then get hired on and get stationed in Pictou and make them do that because that would work. I have murdered my Jack Russell. Okay. I appreciate that, Chubby. I'm so sorry that I left you guys hanging for so long. Is there more? Well, I don't know how this came into existence, the document itself being unredacted. I don't know where this originated from, the unredacted version. I do know that I know who we got the information from. I can't say because it's not my source, but I do know where it came from, and the text that we got is accurate as to this. So I know that at least one person out there was able to get, and it was just the one page too, as far as I understand it. That like the whole thing wasn't unredacted; it was just this one page. So, well, Mama, I'm guessing not so sick. Yeah, I think Jen, that only makes sense. That only makes sense that they were kept home because of the black eye. Did they make that? I'd be happy to. That's why I put on the Hunter S. True Crime. Now I'm going to have to add them to the show notes. So I find it all so confusing. She was up at what time to mark the kids out of school? So she was up, the kids were marked absent at one at 6:17 a.m. and the other at 6:18 a.m. So I assume she has to go into the app and do one for each kid. So the timestamps is 6:17 a.m. and 6:18 a.m. and very likely went back to bed and was dozing in and out, but by 8:30, 8:28, she was awake, phoning her mom. Then you believe someone took them and they are missing, but you leave home and don't look for them? Then make excuses not to ask for help. I think she's full of shit, to be honest. She either knows or doesn't care. And I can't say I believe that she doesn't care, but I do. After seeing this, I do think that she knows something. If Janie's time of hearing the kids was accurate. Boo. Was her phone even dead Friday morning? As far as I know, no. I believe that that was very early on when we heard that, but since then, take it for what it's worth. But Daniel had told us that her phone was not dead that morning. My brother was an Oiler fan. Me, Toronto. My brother also was an Oiler fan. He passed away due to cancer in 2017. But he was, I don't know if you old school Oiler fans remember Cowbell Guy. That was my brother. Cowbell Guy. You know, let's go Oilers. Bing, 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 bing. That was my brother. Are we frozen? No, I was just neglectful. I'm sorry. I'm not muted. Please tell me I'm not muted. I'm going to the bottom, just in case I'm muted. I'm not muted. There's no way. Okay, good. Am I muted? I'm not. Was I muted that whole time? Okay, okay. Because my little light on my microphone wasn't on. I'm not muted on here, but then I was like, oh shit. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay, good. Sorry. I'll get the hang of this YouTube thing eventually. Where should we pick up? Wow, it's hard to. Is Chelsea here? Hi, Chelsea. What a mess. Anyway, it is hard to keep everything straight. And although I don't like to say the word lying, lies, I like inconsistent or discrepancies. However, this 8:28 a.m. has me questioning that. Because this is a huge piece of the puzzle, in my opinion. Okay, so Lindsay looked up the style of trailer they have, and it just has one bathroom. Daniel also confirmed in an interview with DT that the kid's bedroom was right beside theirs before the bathroom. Gotcha. Also, Charmaine Daphne played the dispatch again today. 2 officers said they were told 8 a.m. Then the officer says we have to get another statement from family. This doesn't add up. The officer said those words, this doesn't add up? Or you're saying it doesn't add up because, yeah, same, I agree. Why did Malia uninstall the app from her? I know. That was another part of it that it makes you wonder. Now, okay, so just so that I'm crystal clear here, I do not think that any of this adds up to Malaya planning something to have her kids taken. I still don't buy that. But I think we have to look at this 8:28 phone call and seriously question everything Malaya has said about that morning. Unfortunately for Malaya, this is a big oopsie buck. I wonder what time she called Patty. Cindy says Patty left a message about the children being missing. When did she call Patty? So there was a missed call from Malaya at 8:28 a.m. There was also a missed audio call at 10:40 a.m. and I suspect that was Facebook Messenger or whatever. And a message from Malaya saying the kids are missing and the police were there. Cindy learned from her mother that the kids were missing because she left her phone in the house. Cindy said she learned from her mother that the kids were missing because she left her phone in the house when she was in the barn, which was why she missed Malaya's calls. I thought the video call, wasn't it right around 11 a.m.? So 8:28 to 10:40 a.m. she missed the calls from Malaya. So sometime between 10:40 a.m. and 11-ish is when she finally took a phone call from her mom, I believe. Am I wrong? I feel the key to Jack and Lily missing goes back to Patty offering Malaya to come and stay with her 2 weeks before. Malaya said she had a plan. What was the plan? I mean, according to Daniel, it included leaving all of her clothes at Patty's house. But that doesn't make sense to me either, because if she was planning on doing that, why bring all of Jack and Lily's clothes home? Lord knows she didn't change them. You know? She didn't put them in clean clothes for 2 days, apparently, because they were all still in those bags that Daniel ended up unpacking and realizing none of Malia's clothes were there. I think we may have found the missing piece. just opens more craters, not even gaps at this point, but opens more craters. But I think this could be part of the path of finding out what happened that morning. However, I struggle to know where to go with it, you know? So 20 minutes between Malaya calling Cindy and Ron calling Jamie. Yes, correct. That's my point, though. Because, oh man, I would have to go back and listen, but didn't Janie take the phone call from her brother before she went back to bed? She was up, she was smoking cigarettes, she was doing her chickens, she was doing all her shit, and decided, no, I don't want to go to town, I'm going to go back to bed instead. The one day that she decided to break her routine, she didn't call and tell Malaya that she heard the kids outside. She didn't get up to check to see if the kids were outside, why they weren't at school, blah, blah, blah. That's strange, but not as strange as this fact that Malaya was up at 8:28 a.m. Probably about half an hour, not even, before Janie heard the kids outside. I don't know. Still wondering if Ron showed up that morning. I think we learned that Ron did show up that morning and he was there. And then at some point he left to tell the neighbor what was going on or to see if the neighbor heard anything, whatever. However, the RCMP in these documents as well said that when they went to talk to the neighbor, they weren't aware of anything. They didn't know anything was going on. So which neighbor did Ron go to? Obviously not the same neighbor. Cindy didn't confirm seeing the children on video chat. I don't know if Cindy confirmed anything other than a screenshot showing that there was a video chat out. And I think that was just Malaya's screenshot, was it not? I don't think Cindy's confirmed shit or denied shit. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's why Daniel was checking on them at midnight, because they were already looking for them. You know what? Okay, so I heard one of the theories that I heard while I was away was that maybe, possibly, Daniel thought the kids were inside with Malaya, and maybe, possibly, Malaya thought the kids were outside with Daniel. Meanwhile, they had wandered away in the dark and got lost, and they didn't even realize until morning. I mean, is it that far out of the realm of possibility, knowing what we know about how attentive these two were to their kids' needs? That would make any scenario of them wandering off more plausible. If they were lost in the woods for 9 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, more than that, whatever time it got dark, and Daniel went in the house. So, food for thought. If they redacted it using Adobe and didn't flatten the page, anyone could remove the element if they had the right software. Yes, and I've tried, because I do have that software. I've tried and I could not do it. Maybe it's even better software. I know Bluebeam is probably top of the line, but I use Adobe Pro. And yeah, didn't work. It can be gotten at the courthouse. It's public knowledge. What is? Menopause brain. No offense. Cannot remember what we were talking about there. I'd be happy to do it. If it's public knowledge, then if it's what I'm thinking, I wouldn't need the press pass to do it. Which, by the way, I do have the digital press pass, but I still don't have my physical press pass because Canada Post is on strike. So My mailbox hasn't had anything in it for, I don't even know how long. Did I read or hear somewhere that Jack and Lily stayed in the car with Daniel when they were at Patty's? I haven't heard that. Tammy, where'd you hear that from? Hi, Chelsea. Just wondering if this detail is now being shared and made public, then wouldn't that indicate, like the rest of the documents, the RCMP have ruled it out? Maybe, but I don't know that the RCMP or the courts had anything to do with releasing this unredacted information. I had said the second that I saw those documents and I read through them that the stuff that's redacted is either personal information or information they think is still relevant to their investigation, right? The rest of it was just noise to keep the public busy and to deflect attention from Belinda's guardianship application. The timing is just too priceless for me to believe anything else. So I don't think that the RCMP or the court system unredacted this and put it out there. I think that I think it was a mistake, and this was most definitely redacted to begin with. And I can't see them just unredacting one little blurb and releasing it. I can't see it. I think it was either a mistake by them or somebody had the right. Oh, you're talking about this document. Anybody can go to the courthouse and get this unredacted document? I don't know, man. I don't know. Seawood, did I mention I'm so happy you are doing this? Me too. I didn't know Kent was here. I'm echoing? I'm not echoing. If I'm echoing, it's the room. Let me read this one first. No, I don't think officers said it doesn't add up. No, I don't. I don't remember hearing that. That's why I asked for clarification. Probably unpopular opinion here, but it confirms my theory, to be honest. Let's hope. Here's hoping. I can read, I swear to God. Wasn't the 828 just a missed phone call? Yes, it was. Yeah, it was. It says right here, there was a missed call from Malaya at 8:28 a.m. Malaya was awake enough and in the area of the house that she could make calls at 8:28 a.m., a mere 20-ish minutes before Janie heard the kids outside. Meanwhile, Malaya is saying that she heard the kids playing and she was in and out of sleep. And the next thing they knew, they heard silence. So, don't make me come at you, Kent. Had the truth been told by all parties, we wouldn't be doing this. Truth is straightforward with the odd fuzzy edge, not the giant ducking of that curveballs we've been seeing. I don't know what to think about that. I have thought it and unthought it, but someone they knew took the kids. You think someone they knew took the kids? They may not. They may totally not suspect this person. Okay? Bye. Connect the dots for me and we'll talk about it. I think Cindy didn't see them, in my opinion. I believe she did have a black eye. She left Daniel because he was mistreating her, so her kids disappear and she takes the opportunity to leave. That's what bothers me, is she left in head. 100%. Who called Patty? I believe it was Patty who called Cindy. Cindy found out the kids were missing from Patty that morning. Doesn't matter, Kent. It tells us Malaya was right. Thank you, Seawood. Don't make me come at you, Kent. So many of them leave their phones. Weird. As fast as Daniel checked the kids' cabins and all the roads, creeks, etc. took him 10 minutes. So why take them so long to call the RCMP? Here we go. Here we go, Ken. Well, we know she was awake. That's nothing new. She said she'd been in and out of sleep. Oh my gosh, Kent, when's the last time? And I mean, maybe you're one in a million. When's the last time you were dozing in and out of sleep with your baby and your boyfriend, girlfriend, and your whatever, and you just decide to call your mom when you're half asleep? Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. Because otherwise, why wouldn't you speak to Lily when she's poking her head in and out of the room? If Meadow is awake and she's watching TV quietly and you're not trying to get her back to sleep or whatever, you're not trying to keep her quiet, why are we phoning our mom at 8:28 a.m. and then claiming that we were in and out of sleep? It doesn't make sense. I think that whoever was in the kitchen that morning, if they had come out and found them there with the kids, it would not have been a total surprise, but not part of their plan. Still doesn't explain to me why the kids didn't say, oh, look, Auntie Haley's here, or whoever. They heard nothing. They heard the kids playing in the room beside us. Heard Jack rustling in the kitchen. Didn't hear words. Didn't claim that they heard an adult in their house or their kid's reaction to another adult being in the house. To kids that would chat your ear off. They'll talk to anyone. Doesn't jive. Doesn't make sense. Not to me. I was thinking about maybe she never got a chance to wash her clothes. Maybe. She couldn't be too suspicious. What are you talking about, Kat? You're going to make me come at you today. What are you talking about? Are you... There is not motive that I can see for her moving and hiding the kids. It would also involve even more people, and no one has whispered. Thank you. In my opinion, we are finding the smoking gun. It's something. It's something. I feel like I'm really behind in chat. Just doesn't make sense to me. Why would RCMP release time-sensitive information, I think is what it said on the redaction, if it means anything. I think it, because of a document that had been requested by news media under the Freedom of Information, they were able to go in and redact information they didn't want public. But because it was part of an application for information that was covered, like Belinda said, it's public information. I mean, that could be the answer. I mean, I'd be speculating if I said for sure, like I thought for sure. Like, I don't know. But it's just possible that it was redacted because it wasn't meant for public consumption yet, because it's part of their active investigation. Maybe. Charmaine, as Janie was feeding chickens, she would have seen Jack and Lily and Jack, in my opinion. Yeah, well, I think she said she fed her chickens, and I don't know if she gave a concrete time for that, but wasn't it like 7 a.m.? And then she went back in and she was just laying around playing on her phone and whatever, whatnot. And after everything went down, she went back and checked the time that her brother called her, and it was 8:48, and she knew she had heard the kids after that time. But again, didn't get up to check or call Malaya to let her know that the kids were outside, nothing that she normally does. And Malaya even said, I don't understand why Janie didn't call me that morning. I think they have moved way past this point in the investigation. Maybe. Janie said she heard the kids outside after the phone call with other brother, which was at 8:48. It was like 3.5 or 4 minutes long, so more like 5 to 9, and it was 10 minutes later. And if it was 10 minutes later. Does anybody have any Tylenol? Then you're talking like 5 after 9. Okay? What does Ron drive? I knew that. Is he the one with the Dodge Caravan? I knew that at one point. Will we ever get to see the CTV footage of them at the store the day before? You know what could happen if the kids are found not alive and they make a documentary about it? Yes. Quite possibly once it goes through the court system, you might be able to get it through the freedom of information in Canada, but it'll cost you 10 cents a page, or was it 15 cents a page now? I can't remember. For transcripts. I don't know about videos. I think the children went missing when they got home? Maybe. I doubt that it would be in evidence, I'd assume. Not sure. I think that's possible, Charmaine. It would mean the searchers had a completely wrong time frame. Is that a play on the neighbor? I'm just kidding. Happened to me once and found my 2-year-old son running to the ice cream truck. Oh, we're back there. I agree. But it would also mean they all lied. Yeah, Chelsea, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's where I'm going. Like, I was on board with believing like maybe Malaya come to realize certain things by Saturday afternoon and had been talking to the RCMP after she left, and you know, that's why she was staying quiet. But I mean, this for me personally calls all of that into question. All of it. Are you talking to me? Could that be why they're saying they heard them, because they thought it'd be worse to say they disappeared hours earlier and they didn't know? I mean, the whole morning to us, to a lot of us, felt like they were so concerned with looking like neglectful parents, you know, like just the way Malaya kind of explained how we always make sure there's someone outside watching them, and now we know that that wasn't true. They were just really concerned with how people perceive their parenting. So I would say that's totally plausible to me. Plus, they were fighting that May 1st, children walking away when they got home would not surprise me. I just don't see kids wandering into the woods at night. Yeah. And fairy tales make it pretty clear that the big bad wolf and the witch and the candy house are out there. Absolutely. Unless they were really comfortable going to those forts that weren't that far. Super easy to get turned around and lost at night in the woods. But you'd think they would have heard voices like Daniel and Janie and the work that was going on. I don't know. Maybe that's why Janie got so emotional, because maybe she was the one who was watching them and they disappeared that evening. Maybe. I just wanted to see the footage of how they interacted together that day and how the kids' moods were with them, for sure. I mean, it would be interesting to see, for sure. I think everybody can agree. Kent, my husband just told me he had a dream last night that we went to your house and me and you were talking about the case. He said there were a bunch of restaurants in your backyard. Funny. Was that 5-speed driving around looking for the children from... Ooh, ginger snaps. Maybe. Daniel was looking for his tools. Malaya inside with Meadow. Kids outside with Jamie. I'd love to sit down with you and a pot of tea. I have a feeling your and my thoughts align a bit. Yes, there's different channels out there that saying that, but he didn't stay in the car for 8 hours. People use your head. Now, come on. This is just what we've heard. It's not, he didn't clear it up, Kent. And I've told Daniel this myself, but you cannot put this shit out there and then not clarify things and expect people to be like, well, okay. They have to expect this. And I mean, he's admitted to me he gets it. He does. Just not very good with words. And yeah, use your head. Daniel has told me he was not in the car for that long. So, which would mean the timeline for the children would be 3:30 p.m. May 1st, which means they could, yeah. Canada Post is delivering and accepting mail? Since when? That's amazing news. Kent, did you hear that? I could get my bracelets. That's what it is, your room. I've really never seen any video of them and kids to see how they work together, and I think that would show a lot more of how they treat them and stuff. Well, that birthday party, Daniel was in that video. He didn't seem too concerned or bothered by, you all right? By Lily's scream. But other than that, you're right. There was also the video that Daniel sent Sunny. They were at some creek or something, where Jack was looking at something, and they seemed kind and patient, trying to get Jack to come away from the water. They weren't freaking out or yelling at him or anything. She was very calm and, come on, Jack, time to go. Come on, Jack, you know what I mean? So I have seen a couple of videos. But again, I mean, it really means nothing, because when you know that you're being videoed or things could be screenshotted or anything like that, you're not going to be authentic. Harley just opened the door and it's chilly. Give me a second. Sorry, it's chilly in here. Okay, Sailor Moon. Okay, one more time. Here's my email address. It's True Crime Story Pod @gmail.com. Or you can find me on Facebook and use Messenger. Totally up to you. Number exactly, I'd like to know that too. I don't know what you're talking about. Daniel and Malia never doing an interview together was always weird to me. At the beginning, it wasn't weird to me because Daniel was always interviewed kind of away from the house, whereas Malia was interviewed right there. So it wasn't weird to me, but I mean, the fact that Malaya's never done another interview is weird to me. Maybe they're going by the right time, but not saying it. But it was in the PM, not in the AM. Kent, just heads up, when you tell people to use their head, I feel like a lot would take that as insulting. Just heads up. I know you've said that before and people have taken offense, but when you tell people to use their head, it's like it's passive aggressively calling them stupid. So, heads up. I think the kids ingested the drugs. Maybe. Cindy seen the black eye? When? Tammy, well, maybe on video chat, but not Wednesday afternoon because she didn't show up at Patty's. And Yes, but no record of a call to Patty from Malaya. Good point, but we don't know that for sure. For sure. Yeah, infested with ticks. Yeah, I don't know about that time of year, but I'm sure it's a problem. I mean, we know Janie had a tick. Hi, Sharon. Glad somebody agrees with me. Seawood and I were reading from the same book. And I mean, to be fair, Kent has said that before, and he doesn't mean it that way, but that's why I just thought I'd point it out to him that it's a passive-aggressive way of telling people they're stupid. My mom used to say, shake your head or use your head when she was passive-aggressively calling me stupid. So, in my opinion, the children never slept in their beds that night, wondering if the RCMP took the sheets. We don't know, but it doesn't sound like it. 150 grand is a lot of money. Doesn't make sense. Talking about the reward, so it doesn't make sense. I can't tell you why she called her mom. I'm not a mind reader. Are you cranky pants today, Kent Corbett? Nobody said you were a mind reader. Nobody knows why she calls her mom. But the fact that she was awake enough to want to call her mom, surrounding everything else that we know or that they say that morning, it doesn't add up. And where in the trailer are they able to make phone calls from? Is that in the master bedroom, in the bed? Because I seem to remember somebody saying early on that Malaya had to actually go somewhere to mark the kids absent, like out of the bedroom. So come at me all you want. Doesn't make sense, doesn't add up. It is a piece of information that matters. And I don't think the RCMP wanted it out there. I would call my mom half asleep if I was sick. Maybe. I wouldn't. And I think from everything that I've heard, my relationship with my mother is closer to what Malaya's is with her mother. And that's just speculation based on things that I've heard, but I certainly wouldn't. They were not drug tested on May 2nd, but that's not saying that I wouldn't call my mom or feel like I needed my mom for certain things at that age. But I would not want to call my mom when I'm half asleep unless there was a damn good reason for it. In my opinion, they were not drug tested on May 2nd, and they all should have been. Pocket dog, maybe? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Inconsistencies for Malaya instead of Daniel, no, can't be true. I'm being fair here, Ken. I'm giving it its due attention. I'm not glossing over it like everybody else. I think it's a thing. I do. And I even tried to talk to you guys about it, and it just wasn't even a topic of conversation. Didn't Janie get a call just shortly after 6 a.m. from her brother? I believe, no, I don't, maybe I shouldn't say it, but I believe she had sent her brother a reel or a joke or a meme or something earlier that morning. I don't know that it was a phone call. One of my many children pocket dials me a lot while they're in bed with their baby and their boyfriend. Maybe. You're too far behind. Your chat is now being too suspicious. This should not take the kids' clothes home, Daniel. Daniel would realize if they took 6 bags over only 1 back. Would he? Because he's a man. No offense or no shade, but if he's not helping do the laundry, how the fuck would he know? And why would he care? Just saying it took him 4 months, 4.5 months to unpack the clothes. I mean, just facts, man. Just facts. Oh, Ian's home. Oh, this is so crazy. Agreed. And I'm still on the first friggin' screenshot. Do we want to move on and we'll just, you guys need to come up with ideas how we're going to dig into this. Aside from sending Kent into the battlefield and getting to the bottom of this, I don't think that's going to work anymore. What did Cindy say to Malaya to make her change her mind and go with her? This was in the driveway on the day the kids went missing, correct? Where did I hear it from? I can't remember where I heard it from, but I heard, but I can find my receipt. But I heard that Cindy is the one that put the bug in Malaya's ear that Cody could have taken the kids. I believe that was on Friday. And then when the RCMP talked to Cody, I believe they maybe didn't rule it out, but they knew he didn't have the kids and that he was home at his mother's house and let Malaya know that. And then suspicion switched over to Daniel, and the altercation, I think, is what actually spurred Malaya to want to leave. That's just what I heard. And like I said, and I say every single time, just because it's something that I heard and I trust my source, that only means that I trust that that is accurately what they heard. That doesn't mean it is the truth. We cannot trust anything that we can't even trust our own eyes, the stuff that we're reading in this case. If they think someone took her babies, then why not answer all questions to find them? Yeah. 100%. Kent, yep, there's no way she could miss that. I love this. Not that we're able to confirm Brim about Meadow being fed. Meadow. She said she was feeding chickens at 7 a.m. The kids might not have even been awake at that time, let alone outside. Well, I think that we know that they weren't, well, can't say we know, but we've heard that they were not outside at that time. Mind you, we don't know any time, so how do you know? I think it's important to know if Meadow was fed or had a diaper change. It would mean Malaya got up, moved around, less likely she'd be fast asleep. Yeah, totally. But if she got up to change Meadow, why wouldn't she make sure Jack at least had a clean pull-up on? You think Janie was at her boyfriend's on Thursday night? I didn't know Janie had a boyfriend. I don't understand why RCMP don't release the video of the kids out shopping. It would refresh memories with the public, identify kids' clothing, nothing to gain by not showing it. Except this was just the last proof of life outside of the property, right? This is the day before. So maybe now that Malaya is saying she didn't change their clothes, that would be relevant, but who knows if they believe her. We don't even know if she has a boyfriend. I ran away at their age for 3 days and my parents didn't even notice. I only came home because I felt bad that I hurt their feelings, hyperventilated crying over their feelings, and they laughed at me. That is tragically disturbing. I'm so sorry that that is even in your memory bank. Does the app from school report the time they must? Yes, it does. I believe, I don't know. I don't know if it shows you what time that school officials, I mean, in what way? Because anytime, like, it's not the same thing, but in my line of work, there is an app, and when the guys input information in the app and they hit submit, it's within seconds that the email is in my inbox, right? And then there's no telling when I go in my inbox, as a lot of you know, and check emails. Like, that email is a little bit different than my podcast one because it's my work one, so I do check it more often. But you know what I mean? Like, there would be no timestamp on that. But that's how it works. As soon as they hit submit, you would think somebody on the other end, like on the school's end, every single morning they would have to get a printout, a report of any absences that day, and then let the teachers know. So there's probably some kind of a regimented schedule for that. But I don't know that there would be a timestamp on maybe when the report was ran, maybe. Malaya was more worried about an Amber Alert to let everyone know so people wouldn't be calling her. She said that right in her interview. No, I think the point of that statement, like, she did, but I think the point of that statement was that her people didn't know, they still didn't know the kids were missing. Whereas if there was an Amber Alert out there, everybody would know the kids were missing. I don't think it had anything to do with, she didn't want people calling her, if that's what you're saying. Now we get some TV shirts. Canada Post is up. Now we can get some TV shirts. Canada Post is up and going. TV shirts. T-shirts. TV shirts? What? Am I missing something? Janie was supposed to be at her boyfriend's that night. We don't know that Janie had one. You need to use your slogans and hashtags. Bring Jack and Lily home. Didn't I? Pretty sure I did. Maybe not in the title. No, we never confirmed, and I need a better boyfriend. I'll say, Kent, you sure do. That was all rumor. She was supposed to be going to town as normal practice Friday morning, but didn't go. Oh, Kent. I apologize, but that's a good one. Somebody screenshot. But boyfriend, I don't think Janie has one. I'm behind in chat. Oh, stop it. Restaurants. Oh, wow, I'm behind. Rotating strike. So are my bracelets in the mail now? I agree with Kent. I'm moving on. Nobody agrees with Kent. Hi, Mary. Anybody else that I've missed? H6F4Y. Hi. Everybody, hi. I can smell my turkey. It smells fucking amazing. Sunny played 2 videos of them at the pond fishing. Correct. And she got that from Daniel. I used to play outside in the woods all the time, made my own house, town, etc., daydreaming of living in the woods. My parents fought all the time. They were mean to me, so I ran away with my backpack. Still, no child should ever have that kind of memory in their catalog to dig up when they're just trying to live life. So sorry that happened to you. So why didn't you check on the kids while you were up, Malia? It is more important to talk to your mom than check on your children? Still talking about the sheets. Who's behind, me or you? Exactly. I know, right? I don't know what you're talking about. That's your email. Okay, Sunny found out. I mean, I try to watch Sunny. I do. But I just can't all the time. What's the deal with Janie's iPhone and Android? She is an Android. Android. Sunny found out the calls made by a window in their room. Fair enough. So she would have had to get out of bed, go over to the window, try to call her mom, so it wasn't a pocket dial. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on last comment. I would love to, but if I go back, I'm going to be for the rest of this. Doesn't Daniel do his DT interview from his bedroom? Someone said it's a headboard. Maybe. Looked like a bench to me. If they can use Wi-Fi to call out, but it shows up differently on your phone. I don't know. Does it? Janie's always said her and Malia had the same phone sim. It is an Android for sure. I would suggest that someone else told Patty or Malia use somebody else's phone. I mean, I would suspect maybe it was, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to think on that. Maybe they did just run away and all the lies are just to cover up the kids were gone longer than they thought and they don't want to get in trouble. So they're spitting lies and inconsistency. I mean, it does make sense, but I mean, you still cannot convince me that they would have gone and kept going that far at night in the woods when they're cold, because they did scour those woods and the cadaver dogs have scoured those woods. So I was thinking maybe they wandered off to the road and somebody in the middle of the night picked them up. Maybe somebody in the area that is on certain lists. I don't know. Drugs were a factor in their everyday lives. Sue. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not implying anybody said, my goodness, really? I'm sorry, you guys. If you said something good, say it again, because this is ridiculous. I'm really curious to see if Kent. Yeah, I just said that. Did he address the new boyfriend thing? Yeah, then maybe I called their CMP on him at 12:45 a.m. morning. If you remember, and Belinda was here, but if you remember, Malia texted Belinda to ask for Cody's contact information or whatever, or if she knew where Cody was, blah, blah, blah. And it was because the RCMP were asking. So she didn't call the RCMP on him at 12:45 in the morning. She had requested the information from Belinda and handed it over to the RCMP. Again, semantics, but a different perspective. I'm confused again. If the kids stayed in the car at Patty's house with Lily, they didn't stay in the car at Grandma's. Who said that? I've never heard that. Except when Malia, no. Malia left to go get a plate. She took Meadow. Kids were inside with Patty and Daniel. Hello, Wolfie. Yes, ma'am, he's talking about Cody. So no need to say she had those with the not like they've seen me in the battlefield. Boots on. Not like they've seen me in the battlefield. What was that referring to? I'm waiting for your response to the boyfriend thing. I won't be doing searching myself. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, she did. I thought she called 911 from driveway after Danny Boy came down the hill from the cabin. She did. She was already on the phone with 911 outside, remember? I'm confused as to why they had TELUS, Rogers, and another provider plus the Starlink. Why so many? And how do you pay for it? You know? I mean, they don't seem like the type of family to have that kind of disposable income. Cell phone bills are not cheap. Also, Charmaine, you're good. Well, thank you so much, Hustler. No searching for me right now, I suppose. You do have wheels. Sure. All those run out or take glass to get paid using cheaper varieties. Yeah, but don't you have to like cancel and hook up and continuously pay your bills? And maybe one got cut off, so they needed to get the other, but they still had the equipment. I don't know. I think maybe Cindy told Malaya that she would lose Meadow if she didn't go with her. That is very possible. Connected but no data. I'm trying not to miss anything like super duper important, but if I do, feel free to repost because I am at the end of chat. Perfect. Hey, April, the feedback on my sound. No, it's Ian outside with the, I think it's a saw. I don't know. If Malaya isn't looking, then is her family doing anything? We don't know what they're actually doing, but publicly, nothing. New in town, what's nice of me, I'm just doing my part. Did I miss something? What is wrong with the extended family members all covering up for them? Which? You're talking about like Cindy Wade? Because I don't think they're covering for anybody. Why two different stories about 911 call? Daniel said, yeah, call 911 to Malaya, then said he told her to wait. There's actually 3 different stories because that there is, so first he told me that Malaya asked him, should I call 911? And he said, your kids are fucking missing. What else should you do? That was the first one. The next one was he ran up into the woods, and when he came back, Malaya was on the phone with RCMP or 911 already. But then he added in after that he told her to wait, and he ran up to the woods and came back, and she was already on the phone with our 911. So very small change in that third version, but still a change. And it could be just adding to clarifying. I'll give him that, but completely different from what he had told me in May. What about that guy that was arrested early June for exposure to kids involved? I think he was in Admiral Rock. I did hear about that, and I think he was ruled out due to alibi. I mean, one won't hook up unless the last provider, yeah, right. So I don't know. Maybe Janie had one and they had the other. Like I don't know. Just my own opinion, but I don't think the cadaver dogs were very far in the water at all myself. I did not hear any reports of them being taken out in any kind of a boat. And yes, they can detect human remains. Like if they're out on a boat, they can detect remains in water. But I don't think that they were taken out. And I think that's why they're kind of leaving it open. Like, yeah, they could come back. Did they find Lily's backpack? I was watching DT last night and he said they did, but did he say that? Because no, they didn't. Gosh, that pisses me off. The air sent dogs at the time when they went missing went to the end of the driveway. Correct. Just the facts, Kent, just the facts. We know Jack has wandered off before. Why the change in Lily wandering off too? Lily was the older of the two, so I just don't. I don't see it. Unless Lily has a history of wandering off too, that we're not hearing about yet, 5.5 months in. My bad, I thought it was a bit rich when she said, we the public need to speak up and talk. She hasn't for several months. Also, she will never stop searching. There have been no reports of her searching. Preach it. If the scent went to the end of the driveway, doesn't that sound like they walked to the end of the driveway and got in a vehicle? Their stuff was thrown out the window the direction they drove. Yeah, or not thrown out of the window, burnt somewhere or something. Absolutely. Absolutely. And everybody, every single person, even the people that say, I've lived here for 60 years and I know the traffic, fuck you do. Anybody with a vehicle can go down any public road they want to. So you never know. It's like getting hit by lightning, having your child abducted by a stranger. Even more unlikely to have two of them abducted by a stranger. But to say that's not possible, or the least possible scenario, I think is a mistake. Did you just call me Jermaine? But she also called on Cody at 12:45 and she said she could have. Yes, that's what I said. That's what I said. And that suggestion, that possibility came from Cindy. And so Malaya jumped on it, got the information from Belinda, gave it to the RCMP, and yes, of course they followed up, and the kids weren't there. What does this say? On DT, they said a backpack, not found her backpack, clarifying for that person who mentioned it. All that happened when you were away from me, everybody was talking about how Daniel stayed in the car. Is that for me? Okay, but Daniel has himself said that he did not stay in the car. Daniel is so believable, but I'm just saying. DT accidentally said backpack when he was talking about blanket, so someone questioned him on this. If no backpack was found, he made an honest mistake, but was a bit rude about it. Shocking. Thanks for clarifying, because made my brain cells pop. Another thing that I want to hit on before we move on to the next screenshots, because we're already at an hour and 45 minutes. You guys are really great at like interacting with me. I love this. I also heard, I didn't see it, and I don't have any updates, but I heard that on the DT show or in his chat, there was talk and insults and drama being spread about a possible fundraiser for Belinda's guardianship court battle. Is that true? That there was rumblings of it in the chat, or somebody had a problem with it in the chat and it was discussed? Is that true at all? Okay, Nancy, thank you. I would like to say that, to my knowledge, there isn't. There simply isn't. And it was because, from what I heard, okay, so it is true. All right. So the problem people seem to have with this idea is that Delene is working pro bono, right? And that's true. But we have no idea if and when Belinda decides to do any kind of a fundraiser or anything like that for this, what her reasons are, and I'll guarantee you it's not for the representation for the lawyer. There are other, like how's Delene going to get to Nova Scotia, guys? Just out of her own pocket? She's already working pro bono. taken time off from her practice to do it. I mean, I didn't hear that. That is not factual information. But instead of judging something that you don't know a thing about, how about brainstorm in your own fucking mind and try to think what would be reasonable? And if nothing has been as, if she's not asking you for anything, why are you even talking about it? You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. Possibly in the future, once things get going and once they have a better idea. So there will be costs associated with this, not the least of which is getting the lawyer to Nova Scotia, and she needs a place to stay and everything else. Pro bono work is her time to do this court battle. And I don't want to talk too much about it, but the fact that it was brought up and people weren't saying the obvious, that there are hidden costs with this stuff. It's not just showing up and going to court, and there's so much more to it, right? So let's wait and see if she decides to do it. And when she does do it, she will have good damn reason, because I know one thing for sure: Belinda is not a liar, she's not a cheat, and she's not about to ask for anything from anybody that she truly doesn't need. So we just leave it at that. And then I get feisty. That's right. Like, Daleen is an actual lawyer, you guys. Like, she has a full-time job, very full-time job, being a lawyer here in BC. So she is going to be taking time from her job to fly to Nova Scotia to do this. So at some point, there's new in town, there's absolutely no information out about that whatsoever. I'm just throwing ideas out there where instead of spurring even a little bit of conversation about how wrong it is to have a GoFundMe for a pro bono lawyer, let's shut up and think about what it could possibly be if and when she ever does it and asks for anything. Nothing's even been done yet. So why bring it up on a show with that many followers? Get a life. Get a life. Leave her alone. She's literally the only family member trying to find these kids. Get a life. Right. Just a question, could she get a lawyer without pro bono? From what I understand, Tammy, and I know in BC, you don't get legal aid for family court matters. So the answer to that, I think, would be no. However, most of the time in family court, people self-represent, but I don't know that this is your standard everyday case. I do not blame Belinda for wanting representation. But she would have to pay a lawyer. She could get a lawyer, but she would have to pay for the lawyer. Do you know what I mean? Like, she wouldn't qualify for legal aid because it's family court. So I've seen people, if you go on to GoFundMe and just search on there, there are people trying to get GoFundMes to get new boobs. So, like, this to me is a good cause if she decides to do it. But like I said, until something is announced, keep your judgment to yourself and try to think outside of your little box and stop spreading false information. Just stop it. You stop it, then I'll stop it. Travis did clear up that even pro bono, it's only the lawyer that is free. It can cost tens of thousands of court costs. That's right. Thank you, Scotia. But no. Let's attack Belinda before she's even fucking done anything. Anyways, I just wanted to bring that up. That was supposed to be wood, Charmaine. I don't think the cadaver dogs went far into the woods. 40-kilometer radius, Kent, or 40 kilometers, sorry. Oh. It is. Children of that age think that everything is their fault, real or imagined. Running away in their mind could have been an easy or seen as a solution if they thought they may be the cause, real or imagined. Maybe, but you're still talking about a 4 and 6-year-old. That, to me, 4 and 6-year-olds don't have very good instincts, right? They're not sitting around commiserating like everything. Okay, so a 6-year-old who's been abused for 3 years is not sitting around thinking how shitty her life is and how much better it would be without her parents. They adapt and they accept it as the way it is. They just, all they want to do is please their abuser so they'll stop being abused. If I keep these people happy, then they're going to be happy with me. So I don't believe that. I'm sorry, I just respect for your opinion, absolutely, thank you. But I don't believe that at all. I don't think that a 4 and 6-year-old would run away. They're no, not in my mind. Then someone was rude and said if she can't afford a lawyer, she cannot afford kids. Oh my God. I'm going to say it. Some people have nothing better to do than talk crap. If you don't have content, then don't talk. Don't talk shit about people that are trying to help. If you don't have content, maybe take the night off if that's all you're going to do. There are plenty of people to pick at in this case, and Belinda is not one of them. Yeah, those comments weren't deleted. Weird. Malaya would get a free lawyer, and she has. Sunny did bring up this discussion about funds to help Belinda and was talked about being a positive. Belinda felt awkward about the idea of it. Absolutely. Absolutely she does. But she also knows that there's hidden costs associated with bringing a case like this. It's just the long and short of it. And you can get legal aid for family court. I don't know, not BC. It's not a thing. Look at the GoFundMe's around, yes. And if it comes to that, Belinda will be open and honest and transparent with what exactly she needs the money for. You can guarantee it. I don't even have to talk to her to know that. She's never given anybody a reason not to trust her. So anybody that's throwing shade should just go back under their fucking rock. Anyways, that was nasty. And I'm sorry if I'm missing anything from anybody. I probably am. Sunny, it's going 11. What time is that? Is that in like an hour? 9:30, that's 1 hour from now, correct? Yeah, we'll be done by then. Because about other creators, Patriot Girl. I mean, and it just irks me. The one channel irks me because of the misinformation and the censorship. But that's why I don't want to talk about that. If there's something that I feel is important enough to set straight, I will set it straight, like this Belinda shit, or the fact that they have not been cleared. I will. Other than that, I don't want to talk about. Because honestly, anybody else, they do their show, they do their content the way they do it. And I don't agree with a lot of them. Some of them are assholes, straight up. But it's 100% their show. But they're not out there. If they're speculating about something, they say they're speculating about something. Let's move on. I'm starting to get a headache. It pisses me off. I don't understand why people are so stupid. Not you guys, but you know what I'm saying. All right, let's move on. I don't know which one is first. Not that one. Move. Want to talk about Earl for a second? Crazy Town, did you? In BC? Because I know my, whatever, my Ian's ex tried and couldn't. And if anybody, like, she's literally on welfare, so didn't qualify because it was family court. I don't know. Anyway. You guys all seen this? Where is my image? I don't know if I can, like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to see. Yes, okay. Earl is Daniel's dad. October 1st. Oh man, where's my other one? So have you guys all seen this? So October, whatever, it was around Thanksgiving. Didn't wish a happy Thanksgiving, but I'm not happy. Each night I think of Lily and Jack running up the driveway, calling me Grampy when I picked up my own grandkids once after Jack's birthday, asked why I wasn't invited, and Malaya said only family were invited. I was more a grandparent to those children than any one of their real ones ever were. Sorry for the rant, but it's time I started speaking up. I understand Earl's frustration. I do not think that he was referring to Belinda. Like, I don't think it was like a personal attack on Belinda. I think that if things were a little bit different, I think Earl and Belinda could work together to find out what happened to these kids. But as it is, Earl is not, he literally just started being more active on Facebook. No idea if he's watching YouTube or not. But he has purposely stayed away from the online coverage. And I don't know that he's seen or heard anything that didn't come from Daniel or Jeannie. And the news, right? So I don't have a massive problem with this, although I wish these people would, I wish that they would educate themselves more before just blowing up and running their mouths, because I don't think Earl has any idea what's in store for him. You know what I mean? Once you put yourself out there and you give your opinion and you're related to Daniel Martel, people are going to be relentlessly pursuing him. It would be easy, I think, for him to turn off his Facebook, block everybody, blah, blah, blah. But everybody knows where he lives. And I think for the most part, because he's been quiet, people have been leaving him alone. But I think those days are over. I don't know for sure, but I think so. Earl needs to tell the RCMP the truth and give Daniel the boot. Stop enabling Daniel. I was at 4 running away from home, and I thought it would be better off for my parents if I was not there. It's sad. What can I say? At 4. Like, that's sad. That's true. I haven't. But you're not going to convince me that these 2 kids both felt like this, because I don't think that that is common for a 4-year-old to feel. I don't. I really don't. Like I said, I respect your opinion, I do, but I just disagree with it. I hope Kent sees my comments. I hope you're well, buddy. There you go. He just seen it. Daniel went quiet. Daniel did go quiet. He did tell me that he was going to. I think he realized the shitstorm that was coming and took a step back for his own mental well-being. 40 kilometers through is the amount of distance the handlers walk. They may have done 5 kilometers or 4. Please don't call other creators up in chat. We are all speaking generally on purpose. Correct. Yeah, I don't want any issues here with any other channels. I'm trying to be Switzerland and peaceful. Like I said, if there are the one-offs, the information that come out on another channel, and it's important enough for me to set it straight, then I will, and Belinda is one of them. That GoFundMe that hasn't even been started or decided on yet should never have been brought up somewhere with somebody that doesn't know what he's talking about in that situation. Hi, Travis. Generally speaking, when you're 4 and sick, you just assume that's how life is. Like I said, and you're very focused and concerned with keeping your abusers happy. They're children. They're not teenagers who have life experiences or exposure to other ways of life. And I feel terrible that you went through what you did. I really do. But I don't think that's the norm. And I just don't think that's what happened here. When Earl said my own grandkids, I'm sure he meant bio. I don't believe he has anything to do with the kids' disappearance. Me either. And that's the whole way they, like him and Janie both, right? It's my own grandkids. You know, my parents, my brother had 2 stepkids, and my parents, once that relationship was serious, my parents, it wasn't step grandkids, it wasn't my own grandkids. When talking about my kids, they were just all grandkids. You know what I mean? It was just and they didn't see them very often. They didn't particularly like their mother, but the kids were the kids. You know what I mean? They were, I don't know, but each their own. I'm not part of that family. I don't know. When I was 3 years old, my mom gave me alcohol to go to sleep, as my stepbrother's biker wedding was going on in the house. I don't drink at all. It's never been my thing because of that. Well, that's abusive. Poor decision making on your parents' part. To be fair, even though I very much dislike that creator, someone paid for a super check to talk about the Belinda bullshit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I've been out of the loop. I didn't even see, well, I don't watch that channel anyways, but somebody told me today, and I was like, well, the last I heard, it wasn't even a thing yet. Like, it wasn't even decided on yet, because there's no idea what the associated costs were going to be. So why even try to raise money before you know what you're going to need? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a thing yet. So I couldn't understand why we're even talking about it. But if it was mentioned somewhere else, I'm not trying to call anybody out. I'm calling the situation out. It's not a thing yet. And when it is a thing, if it becomes a thing, Belinda's going to be open and honest and transparent about it. And if you don't want to donate, don't donate. But don't talk shit. That's my only point. I never said anything bad about Belinda if referring to. No. There's nobody in this chat that I've got any issues with. You're free to say what you want. Nobody has been disrespectful in here. You know what? I have a feeling that we're going to hear from Earl. I do. Hey, Explorer. Stuff don't make sense from Malaya's interview and Hello Kitty t-shirt. It could be just what she was wearing for a couple of days. I mean, it didn't look like the nicest, cleanest shirt, you know. So let's do this next one. Who can read this one out loud for me? I have no idea what that first word is. Anybody? Can anybody tell me what this first word is up here? Chapter 3, verse 7. Is that biblical? Is that what that is? Time to keep silence and a time to speak. It's time to shake the apple tree and get things moving for Lily and Jack. For you strange people trying to get me to add you, go away. I'm not interested to talk to you. Ecclesiastical? Okay. What does it mean? Biblical? It's interesting. I mean, you can't judge a book by its cover. I never saw that coming. As for my last post about Lily and Jack, I got much more to post as time goes on. Stay tuned. I gave the RCMP long enough. Now I'm getting pissed. Well, Earl, it's about time. I am glad that somebody else with the last name Martell is finally going to speak up. And if you want to talk to any channel, I think that you should choose mine because I am the least judgmental that there is. And plus, I'm not monetized. So you're free to come on here and rant all you want. It's a book in the Bible or a chapter, I don't know. Must be. Where's Travis? He would know. Travis just knows shit. Spell it wrong? Weird. So is wrong. Just heads up. Daniel, Earl, Janie, and them will never tell the truth. Does shake the apple tree mean get the family talking? I think so. I mean, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Hey, what else how else would you take that? I don't know. I'm excited to hear from Earl. Yeah, I wonder where he gets it from. My turkey smells amazing, you guys, just so you know. Simply means it relates to Christian church or clergy. Oh, church, chapter 3, verse 7. All right. I think people are on the edge of their seat to hear from anybody else in the family. Earl is being evasive, just like his son. Nope, but a lurker must have brought it up. I think RCMP need to re-polygraph them, especially Daniel and Malaya. I would love to have a genuine face-to-face conversation with Malaya about what is going on in her life at that time. Since then, her thoughts, what the kids were like, what she misses the most about them. And a lot of people had an issue with the statement that she released because somebody else read it. And it was almost like she tailored it to kind of the criticisms, but she didn't talk much about the kids. You know what I mean? And people wanted to hear more about the kids. They wanted to hear her voice with emotion in it. And I think it was a big letdown for a lot of people. Not so much for me. It was very much a nothing burger for me. It's what you would expect to hear from a mother who had done all she could and was trying her best to keep momentum in the case, not from a mother who hasn't said shit in 5 months. So, and the people out there that are saying that Malaya spelled her name wrong, there are no A's in Malaya, like, yes, she spelled her name right. Her name is spelled right. It's a saw outside. There's nothing I can do about it. See what she didn't spell her name wrong. She didn't. That's how you spell it. That's how you spell it. I've seen it a million times from Daniel. Trust me. That's how you spell it. Do you know she could come on, Charmaine? Who? Come on what? Did Cheryl write it? I don't know. Maybe. What are you talking about, Kat? Who? Come on where? It's a saw outside Explorer. I apologize. Ian is so rude trying to live his life and do stuff and get heat in the house when I'm trying to do this. I don't think that the lawyer wrote it for her because the punctuation and the grammar is absolutely horrendous. So I do not believe that's true either. I believe that Malia did it herself. What is he laughing at? Well, he's laughing at Harley. That's allowed. Ken, did you answer me yet? What are you talking about? You posted the Bible verse above? Rookie cookie? Thank you, Travis. Okay, here we go. A time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak. Just a thought, the time to speak is when the kids are first missing and you actually have a chance to find them alive. Just a thought. In my opinion. Not 5.5 months in. Unless, of course, they're being hidden. But then in that case, then speak up because they're out there somewhere alive. So why aren't we looking for them? Like, why aren't we looking for them? I don't want to hear it, Kent. Hi, Christina. How are you? Marie, Antoinette. The time to speak was months ago. Absolutely. That's the verse. Thank you. I think every way we spell her name is right at this point, just because, you know what? And I mean, I've seen Lily's name spelled wrong in court documents. I've seen Malaya's name spelled wrong. I've pronounced Malaya's name wrong for like just even by accident and stuff. So I mean, the way we saw the handwritten letter, that is Malaya's handwriting, and that is how you spell her name. So don't believe everything that you hear on YouTube. I do because I have no idea how to spell it. I do. I'll pull it up right now for you. Because you know who doesn't spell her name wrong? Oh, what's this? Let me just have a look-see. Betcha I can go to my messages with Daniel Martel and just do like a random spin and find Malaya's name. Malehya. Right there. And that's just a random spin. I mean, does bring her name up quite a bit. Or did. I don't know that I talked to him anymore. But what else? She has a legal aid lawyer. I had one once, he couldn't write. Maybe, maybe, but it is her handwriting. And I don't know how that works. Kent might know the ins and outs, but her lawyer is from the reservation, the chief's brother, remember? So I don't know that that's legal aid. I could be wrong, just my guess. What are you talking about, Joe? Earl said to Tint, are you the one that stole them kids? That really rubs me the wrong way. It is bizarre. But I don't think that it's... I mean, honestly, I think it says more about how naive he is when it comes to social media and the power and impact something like that can have if taken the wrong way by the wrong person. You know what I'm saying? So it's very naive, and I mean, I'm waiting, and I can't wait to see what else Earl has to say. But I do think it is a mistake that he doesn't know what he's got himself into. Unfortunately. Chapter 3, verse 7. If time to passive using put lose the time to dance. All right. Correct. I was just throwing that out there to be fair to everybody. Like, if they're being hidden, okay, then now is the time to speak. Or 5 months ago is the time to speak, and continuously, relentlessly look for your kids until they're found. Yeah. There's nothing that anybody can say to me that's ever going to make that make sense to me. No matter what. Thank you, Crazy Town Boomer. I'm afraid that a lot of people won't know what you're talking about, and they're just going to see it, and they're going to think this channel is about Bible verses. But that's fine. Oh, they'll be surprised when they come in here. I had the problem living in an apartment back in the day. Rogers told me this was not unusual. Don't know what we're talking about. I'm so glad that you guys are talking about other shit. Because 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I believe Sunny is going to be going live in like half an hour, probably talking about new stuff. But I want to say that I think that this is a thing, you guys, and we need to. No, I'm not going to delete it, Crazy Town. I'm perfectly good with it. Absolutely anything goes here. Just respectfully, anything goes here. I don't care. People can say and think what they want. I don't care. Yes. If you make a mistake, like we're not there. We weren't there and we're not there. We don't live their lives. We don't know these people. We can screw up, absolutely, but own it. Fix it. And for God's sake, don't spread it as fact if you don't know if it's true or not. You can talk about it, but say it's speculation. Or we don't have any confirmation of this yet, or something. But stating your opinion as fact is irresponsible as a creator with that many followers. Sorry, but it's just the truth. The Bible also provides guidance on when to speak up, especially when it is to bring encouragement, truth, or to build up others, as mentioned in, oh man, I wish I could Bible speak with you. This would be the better verse here. All right, let's just wait for Travis to post that. And we will, I pray every day Lily and Jack will be found, but beyond heartbreaking, so extremely sad. It is, and the longer time goes, it's harder to wrap your head around the possibility that they're just out there being hidden somewhere and nobody is looking for them. They claim they are, but there's no proof that they are. And no, Sharon, my walls are not purple. I have a kitchen light thing. I can't remember what Ian calls it, but I can change colors. I don't know if it'll work in here, but I can change colors somehow. Is my remote too far away? My remote must be too far away. I don't know. Must be too far. But anyway, it's a thing. And when I have this light on here, it creates waves on the screen. So I had to turn that light off, and then it was too dark even with the kitchen light on. But I think when I turned the purple one on, it made it light enough so that I could do this. Travis post the verse yet? Hi Daphne. Just about done. See Legal Canada, love it. Will you be streaming also? Well, I mean, you on her panel? No, not today. No, I loved it. Thank you, because I wanted to do that and I didn't. And today I was in my studio and I was trying to catch up on comments and I was like, this is what I needed. Thanks, Daphne. And then I got sidetracked, so I appreciate it. But no, I'm not going to be streaming with Sunny today. I really need to catch up on the new drama, whatever, coming up, but I do want this. I want people to remember this, and we need to find out what we can about this time frame, because this calls into question everything Malia said about that day. All right, Travis, to end us, our names are different today. It has the at. Oh, that is the creator. That is not the verse that you said you were going to post. Legally now into. Yeah, well, that's just one, so I don't think you're quite legally there. You might qualify for a 72-hour hold, but I've listened to it like 4 times. So keep going. I'll save you a spot in my rubber room. Yes, they are different today, Travis. I meant to answer that and then got sidetracked. I'm waiting for this verse, Travis. So what I did was, when I was away, guys, anybody that's on my Facebook has seen it already, but I recorded this video, and the backstory is, and I'm putting it as my outro for a little bit, because I know Nova, she has this thing where she does baby videos or whatever. This is my granddaughter. So what had happened was, we were at the mall on the weekend, and I had all my grandkids, and my daughter had to go to the bathroom. So she took off to the bathroom with the little baby in the stroller or whatever. And it seemed like she took forever. And so we're just hanging around. Ian was in a massage chair, and the 2 older kids were with him. And the Layla was just wandering around the mall, but it seemed like it took forever, and trying to keep her busy, whatever. You gotta see when she finally spotted her mother coming from way down the mall. It's like pure joy. And I think the video is one of the cutest things I've ever seen in my life. So I got that set as my outro. And if you want to watch it, watch it. If you don't, don't. Maybe I'll change it one day, but I don't have an outro. I barely have an intro. So, quality show. I appreciate that, but this is very disorganized. Like if you go watch Daphne, Justin, even Sunny, they have a plan when they do stuff. And when I see shit, I save it and I'll be like, I'm gonna ask my chatters about this, and then we're gonna talk about this. But I don't very rarely have a plan. I tried to do the debate thing and that kind of imploded. It was too hard with the lag and stuff, and with all the inconsistencies, it was really super hard to play devil's advocate in that debate. But other than that, you guys are just as responsible for the quality of conversation on this channel than I am. You know what I mean? Like it's very much a two-way street here. I need your input and your comments so that we can talk about things. And that's the whole purpose of here. So we're not just rehashing the same shit. We're actually talking about it and throwing ideas and, you know what I mean? Like going through the stuff that we've seen. Have we missed anything? Like this one here is huge to me. And I think that I hope there's a way that we can kind of circle this and figure out, because it does throw into question everything that we've learned about that morning, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but to me, all right. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. That is an excellent one for every single YouTube channel, Travis. I'm glad, yes, ma'am. That's the purpose. I mean, we all have our own ideas and our own opinions, and it all matters, right? It all matters. We want all ideas and all conversations, as long as they're respectful, because that's how we're going to shed light on this shit. And I don't know where or who got this unredacted, but I don't understand why more people are not focusing on that and trying to get to the bottom of that, or at least circling it a few times. Know what I'm saying? It's a thing. 828, that phone call, it matters. I do not even know what her channel is. I've seen her on DT a couple of times. A lot of the content that I watched him cover was the Brian Koberger case. It didn't take long for me to kind of shy away from his content on this Jack and Lilly situation. But I did see clips of her on the first night that she was on talking about this case. I do appreciate her input, absolutely. She seems to be very reasonable and level-headed with her thinking and not influenced by the host. And that's important. So I think we all just want a place to talk and work together. Yeah, that's what I wanted, right? That's what I needed to see in this space, because it wasn't happening. It was all a bunch of, I mean, it's still good. It still needs to be covered, but it was getting very toxic and very mean, and nothing to do with finding out what happened to Jack and Lilly, if that makes sense. Okay, guys, this is okay. We need to lay all the statements side by side and highlight the parts we see that are red flags. I agree. This is 3. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. To a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot. I've heard that one before. I like the last one better for the YouTube space. It's absolutely relevant to our day-to-day on here. Okay, the mind behind true crime. Okay, everybody go check her out. And I'm going to do the same. Maybe not today, but I'm going to do the same. Yes, Darlene, that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around, okay? And the fact that the little things that go along with that, and Jack still had his pull-up on from the night. We don't know if the kids ate, but she was up and she called her mom. I just doesn't, it changes everything. It does change everything. Changes everything. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. Thank you very much. For anybody, yeah, go check her out. For anybody that thinks somewhere I saw I might have been wrong, but if you think that I said that I'm going to be doing live later, no. One a day for me. The 5-month mark was a little different. I did one and then I went on with Sunny, but one for me is good for today. And hopefully I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to play this outro, so enjoy. This is my little grandbaby. Actually, you get to see all my grandbabies, but you'll know. You'll know. Have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.